Once upon a time there lived a merchant who was exceedingly rich. He had 6 children, 3 boys and 3 girls. All of his daughters were pretty, but the youngest was so beautiful that throughout town she was known as the Little Beauty. All the merchant's daughters were sought in marriage, but the 2 eldest said they would never marry anyone less than a duke or a count. Beauty, on the other hand, thanked all who proposed to her and said that she was too young at present and that she wanted to spend more time with her father in the years to come. Unfortunately, the merchant lost his fortune, and the sole property he had left was a small house in the country. Poor Beauty had been very grieved at first over the loss of her wealth, but she said to herself,
"However much I cry, I shall not recover my wealth."
Once the family had become situated in the country, they began to work on their land. Beauty would start work at 4 o'clock in the morning, while her sisters would idle about all day doing absolutely nothing.
Look at how content our stupid sister is.
The good merchant did not share the opinion of his 2 daughters, for he knew that Beauty was more fitted to shine in company than both of them combined. They had been living in seclusion for a full year when the merchant received a letter informing him that a ship had some of his merchandise.
Father, buy me a new dress.
Oh, and earrings!
All right, settle down. Beauty, while I'm away, what would you like from me?
Father, I only asked for a rose because there are none here.
Consider it done. Goodbye, my child.
She had no real craving for the rose, but she didn't want to seem ungrateful. When the merchant arrived at his destination, however, he found that there was a lawsuit over his items, and thus he returned home poorer than before. On his way home, he passed through a large wood, and because of a snowstorm, he found himself completely lost. Then, at the end of a long blanket of snow, he found a large looming castle in front of him. After not finding a soul throughout the castle, he decided to make himself at home and hoped the master wouldn't be upset with him. The next morning, the merchant searched through the gardens in order to find the master of the castle. Then, remembering Beauty's wish, he found a few roses and decided to pick a few for his daughter. But the moment he picked a rose, he heard a terrible noise.
Ungrateful wretch! I saved your life and received you into my home, and in return you steal that which I love more than anything.
Pardon, my lord. One of my daughters asked for a rose as a gift.
Daughters, you say? I have a proposal for you, merchant. If one of your daughters agrees to take your place, I will take her as payment.
Very well, I will leave tomorrow morning.
In the morning, the merchant made his way home, and when he arrived, he gave Beauty her roses and told the family of his story.
Oh, that is awful, Father. I'm sorry I asked for that rose.
Not to worry, Beauty. I will not let any of my children take my place.
Father, I've decided to go in your place.
No, Beauty. I have lived a long enough life. You still have many years left.
But without you, Father, I could not enjoy my life.
The merchant and his daughter traveled through the woods and arrived at the castle a few days later. They made their way through the castle and finally into the great hall. They waited silently for the beast to arrive, the merchant always hoping that Beauty would change her mind at the last second.
So, merchant, you have kept your promise. How very kind of your daughter to give up her life for you.
Beauty was incredibly frightened, but tried not to show it.
Merchant, When morning arrives, you shall depart, and never return. Farewell, merchant, and do not forget. As for you, Beauty, I'll be seeing you soon.
The next morning, Beauty cried and cried as she wondered what was to become of her. But then she decided that if this was going to be her last day, she was going to explore everything this castle had to offer. Imagine her surprise when she found her name on one of the doors. When she went inside, she found beautiful furniture and a mirror that would show her whatever her heart desired. And then it dawned on her. If this was supposed to be her last night, then why would she have a room with her name on it? After a delightful supper, she started to listen to some music when finally the Beast made his appearance.
Hello, Beauty. May I join you?
You are master here.
Not so. It is you who are mistress. You have only to tell me to go, and I will obey. Do you consider me ugly?
If I must speak the truth, then yes, I do. But you have a kind heart.
Beauty, do you think you could ever marry me?
Beauty did not answer for a while, fearing that she would anger the Beast. Then, a little fearfully, she responded.
No, Beast.
Poor Monster sighed, but to Beauty's speedy relief, the Beast sadly took his leave, turning several times to look once more at her. Many months passed, and each day Beauty was made aware of the Beast's kindness.
Oh, Beast, I wish I could marry you, but I can't deceive you by allowing you to believe that could ever be.
I know I'm hideous, but I love you so much. I would be happy if you would only remain here with me. Promise me that you will never leave.
I would willingly promise to remain with you always, but I have so great a desire to see my father again that I shall die of grief if you refuse me this boon.
I would rather die myself than cause you pain. I will send you back to your father, and you shall stay with him while I stay here and die from your departure.
No, I like you too much to cause your death. I promise you, I will return in 8 days.
Remember, when you want to return, put your ring on a table when you are going to bed. Goodbye, Beauty.
When she woke the next morning, she found she was in her father's home. After seeing Beauty's happiness, the two sisters decided to try and make Beauty stay longer in order to make the Beast angry. On the 10th night of Beauty's stay, she received a vision of Beast lying dead on the ground. So she decided that that night she was going to leave for home. She put her ring on the table, and right away she fell asleep. When she awoke in her own room, she decided to go and find the Beast. Beauty searched every room and every corridor frantically, hoping to find her beloved Beast.
Beast? Beast? Where are you?
Till at last she finally found him, lying unconscious in the garden.
Beast, no!
You forgot your promise. The grief I felt as having lost you made me resolve to die of hunger. But I die content, since I had the pleasure of seeing you one last time.
Dear Beast, you shall not die. You shall live and become my husband. Here and now I offer you my hand and swear that I will marry none but you. Alas, I fancied I felt only friendship to you, but the sorrow I have experienced clearly proves to me that I cannot live without you.
The moment she spoke those true words, she was blinded by a flash of light, and when her vision had cleared, she no longer found a beast, but a beautiful prince. Thank you for freeing me, Beauty. A wicked fairy condemned me to remain that form until some beautiful girl should consent to marry me. Beauty married the prince, and they both lived happily ever after.